iterators in Java. So let's get started. From sets and map, we have seen that we have used for each loop. Simple for loop is really hard to use on sets and map because there are no defined indexes. So elements of Java sets and map cannot be accessed by index. So that's why we had for each loop. Now with the for each loop, we have some problems. The issue is, so for example, this is how you work with for each loop, and this is the example we have seen, that you tell the data type of what data type of collection you have, then you give a name, and then you use colon, which is separated by with your collection name. So this is your score. This is you can run for each loop on lists, sets, and map. So you have run on sets, and then you are just printing all the scores. So for example, if I want to put any condition that if score is less than 60, remove that score or remove that value, anything, this for each loop cannot work on that kind of thing. So for each loop cannot modify set while looping. So that's why we have a substitute known as iterator, and an object that allows a client to traverse the element of any collection, remembers a position, and lets you get the element at that position, which almost for each loop also does the same thing, advance to the next position and remove the element at that position. So as you can see, this is with the simple array, but this is what we have for the set, right? This is the issue with the set because this is no defined indexes and all the values are in the bucket. So this is why we have iterator. It remembers the position, takes you to the next value, and remove the element at that position. For each loop cannot remove the value at the position. So there are three methods: has, next, next, and remove. You have seen these methods before with scanner, with file processing as well. So has, next method, methods having has in the start means they are Boolean methods. They will only return you true and false. Has next returns true if there are more elements to examine. So it means there will be a while loop over here who will use has next, which will only tell you, yes, you have a value. You go inside, take the value, and then this is dot next is the method which will make you move to the next value or gives you the value, and doing an increment kind of a thing at the same time. Then you have a remove method as well. It will remove the last value returned by next. So these all three methods are connected in one or the other way. So iterator interface is in java.util package. Every collection has iterator method that returns an iterator over its elements. So what you do is, for example, this is what you have. You created a set, and for example, if you want to modify the set, for example, you want to remove some values from the set, then you will create an iterator of the same data type of which you have the set for. Give it a name. ITR is the short form. You can give any name, equals to set.iterator. You have to connect your object name, which is collection of set, which is set you have given. You have to connect it with the iterator method, which is available in the java.util package. Then so this is like then you will do the modification. So this is what we have. So you created a set of integers, scores equals to new tree set. You added some values, 94, 38, 87, 43, 72. These are some sets. You added some values. Then you created an iterator and you connected your collection with the iterator method. So you said scores dot iterator. After connecting with iterator, now this is the task, this is the object who will be doing your task. So remember the three methods from iterator. First of all, we need to check, do you have a value to test, which we will check with the has method, has next. While loop, as long you have a value, while loop will run, and this method is only returning you true and false. So you are inside of the loop, while loop, because this is true. It means you have a value to test. To get the value, you will do ITR. So same ITR is the iterator you will be calling. Dot next is the next method you will use, because if you don't use this method, your loop will be an infinite loop. You may know this by now because you have seen these methods in file processing and with scanner, and you know if you don't do dot next, it will be an infinite loop. So to do dot next, it will give you a value and you will store the value depending on what data type of value you have. As you can see, your scores were integers, so it will be an int variable who will be temporarily holding that value. After printing that score, you want to check if that score is less than 60, then remove from the set. So this ITR is connected with your set. So if ITR says remove, it's actually removing from your set. As you can see, when you at the end, you set system.out.print scores, you are printing your set, but some of the values are missing. The values which were less than 60 are missing because you connected, or you have given, I would say, authority to Iterator to do some modifications with your set. So this is how you will modify using an Iterator, and this is the advantage of Iterator using over for each loop. Another example we have, so you have map scores equals to new map. So again, with the map as well, this Iterator will work with the map. And remember, Iterator will work with the keys, not with the values. So you created a simple map, strings are the keys, integer is the value, scores equals to new tree map, you have string, integer, then you added some values, which is using the put method. So you have all keys are unique and you have some values. Now you created Iterator and you connected your collection, which is scores dot key set. Okay, so this is a little bit different with the set because sets are simple, but maps a little complicated because they have two parameters, key and the value. So you need the key, all the keys to run the Iterator on. So you are giving an authority to all the key set to this Iterator method. Now this ITR will see how many values you have or how many keys you have. So ITR dot has next. Do you have any key to test? Because if you have a key, it means you have a value too. So it says true, you are inside, and then first of all you need dot next. Again, these three are the common method, has next, dot next, and dot remove, which you have seen in the first table of Iterator class. So Iterator dot next, first of all, take that increment, do the increment, because if you don't do dot next, it will not move and you will keep store because dot next is running on your keys. Right now there is no connection with your values, because to connect it with the value you need the getter method. So dot next, you got the name, you got the key. So this is the key, name is holding the key, and now we have to get the score, and scores is your collection over here. So it's like kind of same name, which will confuse you, but it ends with the S. Scores dot get, and you provide the key. It will give you the value. So your value is of int data type. It's stored the integer to an int score, and then you are printing the name and the score. Now you are eliminating if score or checking if score is less than 60, ITR dot remove, and you are removing the key, which will remove the value as well. Okay, so this is how the Iterator example will work on the map. So with the map, it's a couple of more steps as compared to the set, because with map you have the key set and then you have like 2 more lines, because you need to give, first of all, take the key, store it in a variable, and then provide that key to your getter method and store that value which you will get associated with this key to another variable, and then print both of them. So just 2 or more steps as compared to set. Okay, so this example we have seen in our previous video and we couldn't reach to this level to complete that example. So what we have is MobiTip, this one. Write a program to count the occurrence of each word in a large text file. Then we have to count the unique words. So let's just directly jump on to the solution we have. So when you are working with the unique words, the thing come into your mind is the map, because map has keys which are unique. So you can store all the words into your map, which will be strings. So string will be the keys, because the unique things are the words in your file. So words are strings, so it will be, string will be your key data type. And then you have integers because you are doing the count, because you are counting all the words which are unique. So for example, there was and is a string, and it came 100 times in your text file. So if I say how many times and was in my text file, it should return 100. So the data type return, the value return is of integer. That's why we have integer data type over here. Then give a name to your collection, word count, and hash map, because there is no rule of natural ordering or order of insertion. We will go with the fastest one because we are working on big text files. Now, these are the steps from file processing because you need to know how to create a file. We are using scanner to create a file, new scanner, new file, mobydick.txt is the file name. If you have any other file you want to test, just change the file name over here and make sure that file is available, and you must follow the direction how to create a file in Eclipse. Okay, so this loop is connected with your file. So we have to go through the file and take the word one by one, check if that word is already added into our map. If that word is already added, we will increment our integer because we have seen that word again. If that word is not there, so we will go in else and we will add in a unique way, which will be kind of a new key and the value. So while input dot has next, it will tell me whether my file has any word to read. So my file has a word to read. This is true. We go inside. We will take that word out, store it into a variable name. So now we have this variable who is holding the word. I have to test if word count, which is my collection of map, does word count dot contains key is the word because my key is of strings. So have you seen this key before? Does this map is holding, for example, my string is Java. So does this map hold Java? And if this is true, it means the key of Java is already created. I just need to increment the count. So what I will do is I will say word count dot get me the value or whatever the how many count you have done so far in that text file of that word. Give me that count, and which will be of int data type, and again add it to my map. Dot put, if you remember from the previous video in which we have seen an example, if you add the same key with another value, it will keep the latest one. So it will keep the latest one, which will, what we are doing is we are doing count plus one, or you can say count plus plus. If that value doesn't exist, it means your map say word count is false, that contains key. No, I have not seen Java word before in my text file. It will go in else and it will add that word with the same key and add one value associated with it that I have seen Java once. Okay, so this is how that example will work. This is the solution. You can mix maps, you can mix iterators, you can mix files, you can mix sets, and now you have to think which one is the fastest, which one has the more efficient thing. That's it for this video. Thank you. Bye bye.